Like that lick? Stay tuned and I'll teach it to you. Advanced version of Salt Creek coming at you now! The A part slowed way down. Alright y'all, as we go through that A part, it's pretty tricky, I have to admit. In this version I wanted to kind of pull out all the stops, throw in a few trick licks, and I know a lot of you may not want to learn this whole entire thing, but the whole point of why I do these lessons is not for everybody to go around playing banjo bend versions. All I want to do is take some licks that I've made up and maybe provide them for you so that you can steal them and throw them in wherever you'd like. So if you have your favorite version of Salt Creek, but you hear one of these licks that you'd like to steal, that's my whole purpose, and I'd be honored if you did. Alright, so the first lick that really sticks out to me is at the top. Okay, I'm just using that flat 5 in there. You wouldn't think about this C sharp note. Now, notice that I'm talking capo language. This is really a D sharp. Since we're capo on the 2nd fret, I'm just going to call it what it is with the capo. But normally you wouldn't think about this C sharp being involved in a G chord, okay? But that's where we're going to get our real dissonant type of blues sound, you know? You hear that a lot in guitar, right? You hear Tony Rice a lot going. So it's okay to hit that note. And I'm combining it with this flat 7, this F up here, again with the capo. So... okay. Now the second lick that I think probably stuck out to everybody was this silly little tumbling lick, I call it. Sound like this. Okay. All I'm doing is on the 3rd fret of each string and the 2nd fret I'm doing this combination of hammer-ons and pull-offs. And really slow, I'm picking this note first, then I'll pick with my thumb the 2nd fret, and then do a hammer-on, pull-off, and another pull-off down to the open string. So it sounds like this, really slow. Get that? And I'm doing that all the way down. And then at the very end, I'm sticking this F down here and kind of choking it a little bit. So, okay? You may not like that, you may like it. I think it's almost tasteless. But I threw it in there just because it's one of those tricks that I thought maybe you would enjoy. And then at the end, it's pretty straight up. Y'all can pick all that up. These tabs will be available soon on an online store that I'm creating, and I will let all of y'all know about that. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe, because otherwise you won't know when I launch the stuff. And anyway, on to the B part. it. But for now, I'm just going to give you a brief overview. You've heard this shape 100 times, right? That's an E minor shape, I call it. And it's used a lot, especially like in Foggy Mountain Breakdown, you know. Okay, so that's how I started out this lick, or this B part. And then what I'm going to do is go through these they're called sixth intervals arpeggios. Okay, you hear that a lot in backup. Right? Okay, so that's all I'm doing. And like I say, if you want to know why I'm doing that or what they mean, I'll be glad to explain that to you later. But since the B part of Salt Creek goes from an A chord down to a G chord, okay, that's one whole step down. So what I did was took my A part, the part that I play over the A chord, and I just moved it down a whole step, 2 frets down, for whenever it goes to the G chord. I'm sure you heard that. Now I'm going to do the same thing. Hear that? Now when I go back up, it's going to lead me into this over the neck lick. If you haven't ever used your thumb over the top of the neck, if you hang around me very much, you're going to have to learn it, because that's something I use all the time. It's great for these chromatic licks. And that's what we did, that's what ended the first phrase on this B part. And then we go into a single string blues lick. And this is probably one of the tougher licks in here. It's not the toughest one. We're about to get to that one. But one of the tougher licks, and it starts off with the pull-off. 6th fret to the 5th fret. And then we're going to come down to the 7th fret. Back to the 5th. 7th. Pull off from the 6th to the 5th on the G string. And land on this 8th fret on the low D string. And then come back to it again. So it sounds like this. And that's a quarter note there, and I have time, actually it might be a dotted quarter, but I have time to choke it. Okay? Now, the second half of the B part varies a little bit. I throw more minor type notes in there, and what that's doing is setting your ear up for this. And that's where we kind of change directions a little bit. I don't know how I made that little lick up. It's kind of tough though. It's a lot of finger movement. We're going to go back to this E minor shape. And that's going to lead me into one of my favorite licks ever. It's almost totally chromatic. Falling down, tripping down the stairs type lick. Starts right here. That would be on the 8th fret. And we're going to thumb over. So 8th, 7th up here, 6th down here. Back to the 8th on my B string. And then to the open G string, right? Can you do that? Then what we're going to do is get this position here on the 4th fret and the 6th fret. And we're going to play. This is where the hard part is. And then without any time in between, we're going to shift down 2 frets. So it sounds like this. Up. That's tough to get clean and fast, but you can do it. Hope you enjoyed this lesson of Salt Creek. Love y'all. Thank you for all your support. Please subscribe, and I'll be seeing you soon. Adios.